Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. It's great to be with you. I'm going to be colouring in Seasons today instead of continuing with the Chris Ortega page I did last week. And it's not because I'm not going to finish that page with you, it's just because I just haven't gotten around to working more on the Chris Ortega page, and I would really like to have done a bit more colouring before I carry on that page with you live. So I thought instead I would just shift gears a bit and go into Seasons and do a spring page with you. So we're going to be using Neocolor IIs, and I'm going to be colouring this page. And so I thought it would be a lot of fun to just play around with Neocolor IIs and also to just paint some flowers. I'm going to use Neocolor IIs as a base and then go over with Prismacolor pencils, and hopefully that will give us a beautiful picture. Apologies for the delay in getting started. I've got a new phone, so I forgot that I still had a few things I needed to set up, but it's all sorted now, and hopefully we'll have a fun live stream. Hi Noelle, how are you? I hope you've had a good week and that you are well. I'm still quickly setting up here, so just bear with me one sec. And as I just quickly open up the chat on my laptop. All right, there we go. Okay, so the Neocolor IIs I'm going to be using are browns over here instead of green. I thought if we use browns, it should work, hopefully. So I'm going to do browns at the bottom. I'm going to do a light gradient here. So I'm thinking light along the path and then slowly get darker. Or I might do it brighter around the checks and kind of create it darker. So maybe create like a light funnel of some sort. And then I'm going to use yellow and green to base the flowers and the leaves. So, yeah. Hello, Vero Dream. How are you? It's great to have you with us. All right, I'm not going to zoom out probably too much more, just because of getting the page in for the background. And what I've done here is you'll see I've put washi tape. And I saw an artist, or someone's colouring channel, where they stuck washi tape along here, and it just prevented any bleed through in the spine. So I thought that was probably worth a shot. Okay, so I've got silver grey. Then I want to use, I think it was the sky blue. So no, not the sky blue. It is the sky blue, but it's silver grey, then it's light blue into the sky blue, and then at the end is the ultramarine. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. Oh, my husband. Hello, my love. My husband has joined in on the chat. Oh, he's so good. He helps set up everything for me. It's a real treat. All right, so let's see. If I do a light here, I'm hoping it will bring attention to the checks on the page. So I'm going to go with my silver grey and probably come along here, sort of maybe up to about here, and then pull it out. So let's see how it goes. I also wanted an excuse to try these pencils out, well, these crayons out. I bought a couple of new ones Yeah, so I wanted to do a lot of coloring on the weekend, but some stuff has come up. Nothing, you know, like overly hectic, but it's demanded a lot more of my attention. So I didn't really get to coloring on the weekend. And this is the first time I've been able to sit down and color in probably a good 4 days. At least what I can remember. Sometimes my memory isn't so good and I forget. What I like with the Neocolor IIs is you don't have to be precise. You just need to put down enough to really cover the page. It takes pressure off in some respects. So with the daffodils and the chicks, that's a lot of yellow on the page. Fortunately, we've got the hyacinths on either side. At least I think they're hyacinths. So if we do the eggs, not a yellow, but like probably a brown, it will look quite nice, or a very pale white, whitish yellow, beige sort of thing. Hi Carly, how are you? Do you have a good weekend? Okay, so this section here in the crown is actually not, you could make it cloth, or you could make it that it's just gold bands or silver bands. I suppose I could have used white instead of light grey, but it's quite a dull grey. Oh, just the usual stuff. Yeah. I wish I could say it was the usual stuff. I've got quite a bit going on actually, and this week is quite a big week. Just pertaining to sorting out the boys' schooling, and there's some stuff that's going on that that needs my attention. Nothing hectic, just a lot of thinking through things and making sure I've done my research and into all my different options and all of that. It's all part and parcel of just homeschooling or home educating, depending where in the world you are. If you're in America, then it's homeschooling. If you're in the UK, it's home education. So yeah, so I've got a lot of that sort of stuff on my mind. But yeah, it will resolve itself and we'll come right. Yeah, okay, what the heck. I'll do this a bit darker. No, I don't want that. I'm going to do a different gradient. I'll just pull this off. So I won't be able to erase all of it, but I can just try and lift some of that. I'm going to carry on with the grey further down here. Oh, you're having rain and thunder. Wow. All right, let's come in with the light blue. So the other thing I do with my Neocolors, when I sharpen them, I will actually keep the shavings in little Ziploc bags, and then later on I can use them with water, and I get to keep my precious crayons. So just a quick way of saving the crayon. Yes, these are Easter chicks, or spring chicks, but yeah, I thought it would be fun to color Easter chicks. I had a couple of pages for Easter planned out, so even if I don't get to one, it would be nice to try get to at least one of them, if not all of them. I highly doubt I'll end up doing more than this page, because it is already the 19th. I mean, where has the time gone? Like, seriously. The days just fly by. I'll try zoom you in a bit more so you see less of my hand and my arm. There we go. So what I'm going to do is not actually create a linear gradient, but a gradual gradient. All right, this one is the sky blue. Oh, you should play with them. They are so much fun. It takes some getting used to, so the only thing I would say with Neocolor IIs is don't be afraid to press hard. The pigment, you get a lot of pigment on your page, and you don't actually lose your crayon. So it really is worthwhile, unless you don't want an opaque finish. If you don't want an opaque finish, then you don't have to press and put down so much. I like very pigmented colors, so I prefer to make them pigmented, but you don't have to. It's really up to you and what you like. And there's many ways of actually painting with them. You can paint very how do I put it? You could paint it in a gradient form. You could put it kind of like play with it, where it's bits and pieces here and there. You could do a splotchy effect, which is where you can do a gradient, but then you splotch it around. And that looks quite nice. Oh, I can understand the fear of messing up. But honestly, you'll be fine. It's just a matter of working with it. So now I'm going to use the Ultramarine. Otherwise, what you could do is photocopy a page, or just take like a notebook and play around with them on a separate page instead of in your coloring books until you feel a bit more confident. Maybe that's an option for you. Hi Pickle, how are you? How are you doing today? I hope you've had a good day. Yeah, exactly. If you print out a page, if it doesn't look the way you like it, then you can just throw it away. I wish I took that advice. I tend to just get on with, like, dive in and then stress out that it's not going to work out. Although I think if I were to tell myself how to approach things like Neocolor IIs or even distress inks, it would be try it first on a piece of paper and see if you like it, and if you don't, at least you saved your paper, you saved a coloring page. Has anyone seen the new craze going on Instagram where you use I think it's any form of watercolor, medium or crayon, even watercolor paints, and you create a beautiful galaxy watercolor effect, and then you go over part of the illustration in white pen and you outline the illustration in white pen. I've seen quite a few versions of it and I'm really keen to try it out. And I was wondering if any of you have seen it and if you would like to have a color along or see it done. I mean, let me know. Because it looks like it could be a lot of fun. But one of the things I have seen some people say is to try and pick an illustration or a coloring page that doesn't have a whole lot of not too much detail. So a page like this page I'm coloring in would be too much. So it does come across as though you'd have to think carefully about which page you would use. But I think it sounds really cool and it looks fantastic. Oh, cool. I'll try to show you, Kali. There is an Instagram handle for it. I think it's called Galaxy White Lines, something like that. I will try and find it for you in a sec. Or maybe I'll have to think of a best way of finding it for you because I'm filming on my camera, so I can't go onto Instagram there. Might be able to do it on my laptop quickly. Let's see. Who has it? One sec. I'm going to try and find you the hashtag so you can find it. Yeah, here it is. So it's called hashtag Galaxy White Lines. I will quickly see if I can copy. No, I can't copy it. All right, I'll type it in here into the chat. Hashtag Galaxy White Lines. Go check it out. They look fabulous. And it's up on Instagram. And you'll see some of the things people have been doing. The other great thing with Neocolor IIs is you can go random and it will still look really, really cool. Okay, let me bring this down a bit. So what I'm going to do is just try and create all the color in everything, and then I'll go over it with the paintbrush. Alright, I'm reluctant to do too much where the chicks are because I really don't want to detract from them, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Hi Kenny, how are you? Alright, I'm going to do the ground. So for the ground, I'm going to use Vandyke Brown and Toledo Brown. So I'm going to use the Vandyke Brown here where there's all these dots. It kind of shows up almost like that's where there's shadow. Oh. And I'll just improvise a little. I know, right? It's so cool. I love seeing what they're doing. I don't even know exactly how it kicked off, other than I think somebody was just playing around. Anyway, it's happening enough that people wanted to create a Instagram hashtag for it. So yeah, I thought, you know, if it's something people are interested in, it might be fun to actually do it as a color along up on the channel. And I don't think it would really be too difficult to color something like that, because you're just really doing a background, and then the white paint is going to be probably the longest part of the coloring that sort of a page. Oh, Kitty, I'm sorry. I didn't realize your time had changed. I need to try and be a bit more proactive in keeping track of daylight savings. Our daylight savings will happen, I think, closer to the end of the month. So I will try and make sure I put that up for you guys so you know what time. So sorry about that. All right, now I'm going to use the Toledo Brown and along down here, and I'll just go lighter. I didn't want to do too many colors because sometimes I do too many colors and then it doesn't always work. Oh, thank you, Pickle. It falls on Easter Sunday. No worries, Kenny. I'm actually looking forward to the clocks. Do they go back or go forward? I always get it muddled up. But I'm looking forward to having more sunlight in our day. I took the kids to their swimming lessons this evening, and on our way to the car, my youngest goes, "Mommy, it's very, very light. Are you sure it's spring?" And he was adamant. He wanted to know that it was spring because it looks very light. The sun is out a lot more. So I had to reassure him that yes, it is spring, even though we still need to wear our coats because it's still a bit fresh. Very cute. Okay, spring's ahead. Do you guys do much for Easter? Is it a big celebration for you, or do you just kind of carry on? How do you like to celebrate, or the long Easter weekend? I'm going to be taking the boys down to see my folks, so that will be nice. They've decided, oh, my children have insisted that I still do a treasure hunt for them. So as they've gotten older, I need to now make sure that their treasure hunt contains all sorts of codes and deciphering. So like a bit of Morse code here. I think I use pig pens, scrabble the letters for them, and then they have to unscrabble. My eldest is doing Latin, so I'll probably do a few things there for him with Latin. But yeah, they were like, no, even though we're going to see grandparents, we want to have our what do you call it, our Easter egg hunt. So, you know, complete with riddles, and if my youngest has his way, it will be buried. His Easter eggs will be buried in the ground with an X on top. All right, let's try this one. So I'm going to use my water brushes, and I'm also going to use a paper towel. I have a normal small paintbrush with me and a glass of water. Wow, that comes up really fast. Alright, so now I'm going to activate this, and I'll do the flowers later, just because I don't want to mix the yellow flowers with the blue sky background. I want to really try and keep that separate so I don't get like a weird green. Oh, that's cool, Pickle. You do an Easter egg hunt on the Saturday, then the... Oh, that's lovely. Bunny money, that's cool. Thanks, Kenny. I do like this color, actually. It's the first time I'm using it. But I like how rich it is. I think what is also great about the Neocolor IIs is you don't really need to use a lot of water. How many Easter bunnies or Easter chicks have you colored? I think I've only colored 4 Easter chicks. So I think last year was the first time I really focused on trying to do something for Easter as far as coloring goes. golden egg. Oh, what's the golden egg? Okay, cool. You haven't done an Easter or spring page. I find it tricky to be a seasonal colorist. I don't seem to actually get many of those seasonal pictures done in the seasons. I've seen people are using blender pens with alcohol markers, not alcohol markers, with pencils and Inktense or watercolor mediums. I've not tried that. Does it work well? I mean, I have tried Zest It, and I do think that works quite well when it comes to blending loads of layers of pencil. Okay, cool. Oh wow, okay, a golden egg is an egg with $5 in it or more. Oh wow, I didn't even know you could do that. We used to have white chocolate eggs. Well, in South Africa you would get a tray of 6 eggs. They looked white. They had a white coating on the outside that you would then suck. And you'd have to suck the egg a few minutes in order to soften it so you could actually get through to the center, and then it was a chocolate hollow egg. So those are loads of fun. Or we'd have the Beacon's marshmallow Easter eggs, which are just really Moorish. But the amount and size of Easter eggs that I've seen here in the UK since we've moved over, I don't recall seeing that in South Africa. I think it just we use different stuff, really. You can get mini eggs, so we'd get small stuff. I think some chocolate bunnies, but not these big, really massive Easter eggs. Oh wow, okay, so you've used alcohol marker colorless blender to blend your polys. I think I did that in a Clara Markova book, and it worked really well, except the alcohol blender pen turned the Prismacolor blue, and it ended up bleeding through right to the back. So I was a bit put off by that because I didn't really want to have it bleed through. I'm sure if I used it on a single-sided page, it would be fine. And the Clara Markova books are single-sided, sort of. Mini eggs are all that matter, yes. Mini eggs and hot cross buns. Hi Dawn, how are you? I trust that you are well. I hope that you are well, that you've had a good weekend and a good week ahead. It's great to have you join. Oh, I know, toasted hot cross buns are delish. And then you put a fair chunk of butter on top, and then the butter can just slowly melt in. It's just absolutely yum. For breakfast or for lunch or for tea. I like this brown. It's nice and rich. I like the richness of it. Oh, I'm so sorry, Dawn, that your dad passed away. That must be really hard. Hi, Yana. You just got a book for your birthday that are actual photos by NASA of galaxy skies, and the coloring page is opposite to color or practice. Oh, that is so cool. So what can you color it with? Would you use watercolor or pencils to do those galaxy skies? Right, so that is my splotchy textured ground. All right, so now I'm going to clean off my water brush pen because I don't want to have that brown in my sky. And then I'm going to come here and I'm just going to just move this color around. I might have to tweak this background a bit because I'm not sure if it's going to work the way I've done it. So I'm going to also switch sides now. I've got a different brush. And it's more square, and I'm going to use this for the bigger sections of the sky. So like in here. Alright, so I'm just going to swap between these two paint brushes or water brush pens just to help me kind of color this. So whatever color you start in, you'll pick up quite a bit of that pigment, and if you don't like it, you just wipe it off on a paper towel, and then you can go gently in and blend your colors out. So if I come here into the blue without just wiping some of the pigment off, I can blend it out. So if I clean it though, get a better blend. Right, so I'm going to need to leave that dry before I fix it. What I am going to do is get some of that light blue . Okay, so you'll probably use pencils and maybe ink tints. Fair enough. I want to come down here . And just kind of bring a bit more blue in here. Just balance them out a bit. All right. So lightest color first. Into the bluer color. So whenever you want to blend it, just clean it off with a paper towel. And that will help blend it all out. So much fun. Hi Shannon, how are you? I will do my best to make sure I keep the page in view. Sounds like you've been busy, Shannon. Sometimes you can get them to blend really well together. Other times you have to be careful how they blend. Right, I'm going to try and scooch it down just a bit now and swap brushes. Right, so it's pretty much just the same thing back and forth. I think what I love about using painting or Neocolor IIs is just, it's very soothing. Pickle, you haven't coloured a fish eye. What page are you colouring in? It's amazing how this one blue is almost like a purpley kind of blue. Oh, okay, Mythographic Menagerie, that's cool. I was actually thinking today, I haven't coloured in mythographic books in a while. I should probably pull them out and get back into them. They are quite fun to colour. This ultramarine is not laying down very nicely on this page. Very interesting. The other Neocolor IIs are fine, but the ultramarine it's almost behaving similar to the electric blue in the Prismacolor. Very odd. All right, let me bring it down a little bit more. Right, so we're getting there slowly but surely, just working on the background. So I'm thinking for the daffodils, I will base them in yellow, and I'll do some parts brighter yellow than others. So apparently a daffodil symbolizes new beginnings, which I actually thought was really sweet. I didn't know that the symbolism behind daffodils. I thought that was quite sweet. Makes sense why, you know, they're around in springtime. I always associate spring as a time of new beginnings. trying to blend this out now a bit. So now you can, if you don't want it to be splotchy, you can pick up more pigment straight off the crayon, go over it again. I'm not really sure yet what I want to do with this. But I'll leave it for now, and I'll do some more and see what it looks like when we're done. And I think instead of doing blue and purple hyacinths, which is what I would have done, I think I'm going to do pinky white. I think that will complement the yellow on the page and the blue and the brown. And it won't get lost in the background. Oh, cool. Your birth flower is the aster. That's cool. They're beautiful flowers. I don't know what my birth flower is. I know you get birth stones as well. And then you've got like the star signs. Not that I really paid much attention to that. I know some people really do like, you know, the whole knowing their birth, their star sign and all of that. I'm March. I think my birthstone is maybe aquamarine. Maybe. It's been a while since I actually looked it up. Oh, cool. Yours is Lily of the Valley. Wow, Pickle. Those are such gentle flowers too. If I've got my flowers right, I'm not very good at remembering flower names. Oh, cool. Okay, so March, it's aquamarine and bloodstone. Oh, yes, yeah. We were at a National Trust site on the weekend, and I'm pretty sure I saw Lily of the Valley there. I had to look it up just to see what the picture of the flower looks like. And I'm pretty sure I saw them at the National Trust site we went to. And I remember looking at them and thinking that they were so pretty and they reminded me of snowdrops. And what I loved about snowdrops is that they really come out under quite cold conditions and all of that, so there's a lot of strength in the snowdrop. And bearing in mind I'm the kind of person who loves, you know, looking at the symbolism behind things and, you know, meanings and all of that, which it sometimes amuses my family. But yeah, I like snowdrops and all that as well. So Lily of the Valley, I remember looking at it on the weekend and thinking, it's just such a beautiful flower. such a lot of purity and beauty in it, and in a way resilience. And yeah, the snowdrop, because it comes out towards the latter end of winter, it's still fighting off all the frost, and yet it's just there, so pretty. Oh yes, forget-me-nots are lovely too. Oh cool, Shannon, you marigolds and cosmos. Cosmos are beautiful flowers. I like them. And they're easy to grow. And you can get seeds very quickly too. I might have to go over some of these flowers with a paint pen, because I've gone over onto them with some of this blue. Oh dear. Oh cool, Carly, sapphire is your birthstone. And Shannon's are opal and tourmaline. Hi Mona, how are you? Oh, I love emerald. Emerald is beautiful. Which birthstone would you rather have had? I'm glad you're well, Mona. Alright, I think I'm going to move on to my bigger brush. Oh no, I didn't see the meaning of your birth month flower. Okay, wait, hang on. Lily of the Valley meaning. Well, okay, so I come up, first thing that pops up, Country Living magazine. Lily of the Valley in Victorian era symbolized a return to happiness. In ancient times, it was associated with humility and purity, as well as the goddess Ostara, from whose name we get our modern Easter. You know, purity, joy, love, sincerity, happiness, and luck. Sounds all positive. I'm not sure how this is turning out, but never mind. Rule of thumb, just carry on until the end. It always has a way of turning out okay, hopefully. Hey Melissa, how are you? There you go, Shani. Joy and excitement. Seriously, I love meanings of stuff because, I don't know, it just, if ever you need a splash of encouragement. Although sometimes you can get stuff where it's like, okay, it's not very encouraging. Oh yes, the other one was Cosmos. Oh, see, the cosmos symbolizes order, harmony, and balance. It also represents peace, tranquility, innocence, modesty, and joy. So there you go. Oh, where are you getting at a symbol of grief, despair, and jealousy? What are you looking at? It's like some names, they sound really pretty, but they don't necessarily have a positive meaning. I suppose it just depends on the person whether that's whether it matters to them or not really. I mean, I just really like symbolism, so. But it definitely doesn't define you, if you know what I mean. All right, okay. I am done with the background. Oh, cool, Mona. Longevity, joy, and optimism are yours. Okay, so now I'm going to use a pale yellow, and I'm going to kind of go over this side here, because I want this to be a light yellow, almost to a white, but I do want it to have some color. And then like the inside here, I'm going to do a darker yellow. And this is just to base it. And then this one here, I'm going to do dark yellow because I think it will look pretty. Oh, yum, roast. What are you going to do alongside your roast? Sounds delicious. So because this is a base, I'm not going to be too pedantic about it. I'm just activate it, and then I'll go over it with pencil. You want to do a pork roast in the crock pot. That sounds yum. Yeah, potatoes are good. Oh wow, that's cool. Carly, I do not have the full set of Neocolor 2s. I am slowly working on getting the full set. I don't really want at this stage to have extra Neocolor 2s, although I went and bought extra Neocolors, which I'm kicking myself for. So I thought the better way of building up the collection was to just buy them individually off the Colored Pencil Shop, which is an online UK store. So I'm going to slowly collect them. Hopefully by the end of the year I'll have the full set. I've seen some videos where people say you don't need the full set and other people have the full set, so I don't know if you need to have them or not. I do know that I would like to have them, just because when I don't have the in-between colors, I feel like my gradient doesn't, if I do a gradient, it's lacking, and I don't really like that feeling. And I'm not very good yet at mixing the colors on a palette and then, you know, creating my own colors that way. So it kind of works for me to have all the colors. Alright, I'm not going to base all the flowers on camera. I'm just going to do this section here, activate it, and then I'll get the pencils out and work on that. I'm also going to base the one chick in the same yellow. Pickle posted a roast beef or stew. Cool. Well, enjoy it. I hope it comes out really delicious and meets the spot. Exactly, mixing on a palette is hard. And depending what medium you're using, you either need to use a lot of the one color and a small amount of the other to get the exact color you're after. So yeah, it does get a little bit confusing. Okay, so here I'm going to use a moss green. and then a light olive. But I'll definitely use pencils to work on the shading and all that. Yeah, it connected. I have heard that mixing paint is a skill in itself. It's not one of those things that necessarily is easy or comes naturally. I'm sure there are people where they find it easy to mix colors, but it does seem to be something that takes practice to do well. Right, so then the check here, I want to base in the pale yellow. What I like about basing is it helps me not to use too much of my pencils when it comes to burnishing. So it does help speed up the coloring process. And also then all the tooth of the paper is covered. You could probably use water-based markers for this. And if you really don't want all the dark lines, you can go over them with a white Posca pen or white acrylic paint. Some people use gesso. I think they use gesso. There's a few ways that you can cover up the black lines. In all honesty, I actually forgot about the black lines. I forgot to soften them up. But anyway, never mind. We can always use a paint pen afterwards. You go to battle with a Posca pen when covering black lines. Yeah. Sometimes I don't know, is it worth it? And then depending on the color you use, sometimes the color itself actually hides the black lines for you. So I don't know. When it comes to hair, I don't mind whiting out the black lines or portraits, but I haven't gotten into the habit of doing disguising black lines on animals. And sometimes it's nice to have it there because then you've got a little bit of texture while you're working up the, you know, the skills and the confidence to actually go ahead and color the fur or the feathers a bit more realistically. Sometimes you just need to start with a blend. And I think that that should actually be enough. It should be okay to just start with a blend and build your skills up from there. Okay, so for the chicks, what we're going to do is we're going to use, so I'm still playing around with my Colourful Country Lives color combos. So I went onto her videos and found all her color combos. Alright, so for the trumpet part of the daffodil, we're going to use a bit of an orangey kind of feel going on there. So PC918, and that will be for our shadows. So along here. I'll just zoom you in a bit more. There we go. Alright, so you got PC918, then PC1002, which is yellowed orange. Oh wow, Pickle, you covered all the black lines in a Hanna Karlzon page. Wow. I admire your tenacity. Do you do that often in your coloring pages? Now I need Spanish orange. But I might actually skip that and go straight to a sunburst yellow. So sometimes with these color combos, I tweak them. Like Yeah, fair enough, Kenny. Who does like the yellow, the dark lines, dark black lines? And then a lemon yellow. So here I'm going to bring in a little bit of sienna brown, just as a bit of a shadow color. Sometimes I like to go over the black lines with a paint pen. I find that works quite a lot, and it does help just disguise the black lines. Oh, fair enough. You did it once and only. The thing I found with the Uniball white Signo is they're very easy to scratch off with the pencil. And I found that began to frustrate me at one stage, because I would put it on and then I'd basically remove it with a pencil. So I don't know if I just had a really bad Uniball Signo pen at that stage or what was going on. Alright, so now I want to try a Celadon green along here. Yeah, it's so hard to find a pen that works all the time. Posca pens aren't too bad though. Thanks, Carly. Really appreciate it. All right, now I'm going to use a 50% cool grey. Right, and then I want to use a cream, and then I will probably use a white pencil over that to really burnish it. Because I'm trying to create that this is a more lighter pale yellow daffodil with a darker yellow center, so that the daffodil and the trumpet of the daffodil stands out. Hi Brittany, how are you? I am coloring with Neocolor IIs and Prismas. So I use Neocolor IIs for the background. I based my flowers and the chicks in Neocolor IIs, and I'm going over it with pencils. Alright, so I'm using Prismacolor white pencil now. The challenge I've got with lighter colors is knowing if my shadows are dark enough. Because when you put white paint pen or a lighter paint pen over the lines, it's easy for the depth to get lost. So you do want to make sure your shadows are quite dark. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to my orange and I'm going to do the little bud here. And then yellowed orange. Yeah, it's hard to always know how dark to go when it comes to all the shadows. I find the darker the color, the easier it is to do. So this is sienna brown, just really fine into the fold here. Let's use sunburst yellow. Oh, what show are you talking about, Jenny? And then lemon yellow. I will try and have it that in the description I say which combo I use for which part of the picture. And then for the leaves, I'm thinking of, so PC908, and I'll just quickly do the stem. Which is dark green. All right, then I want PC911, which is olive green. And then PC912, which is apple green. I always get apple green and spring green kind of muddled up. And then I want PC1089, which is pale sage. Hoarding shows. Yeah, it's very true. So now I'm going to go back down and just brighten this up. I must say I don't watch many of the shows about hoarding, but what we have been watching is the story of tea and coffee and the story of beef and spices. So they're a bit of like a documentary on those sort of topics, which that's quite fun. So we try watch a bit more documentaries. It's fascinating though, just watching different people and reality shows and those sort of things. Very insightful. Oh, okay, you watch more sports. Yeah, we watch what the kids watch and some documentaries, but I must say I don't get a lot of time to watch TV. Pull this off. So what do you prefer to do instead of watching TV? Is that Grey's Anatomy, Pickle? Hubby and I just finished watching a French TV series called Lupin on Netflix. That was really enjoyable. I quite liked that one. So if you're into sort of like, how would you explain it? There is like it's a bit of like a con artist, I suppose, probably the better way of putting it. Yeah, probably falls under that sort of genre. Anyway, we really enjoyed that. That was really good. Read more. Yes, exactly. A friend of mine, she got me a Neil Gaiman book for my birthday, which was really lovely. I've really been enjoying it. So I try and read some of that before I go to bed. Okay, cool. Grey's Anatomy. I watched quite a few seasons, but I won't say, I don't remember what season I stopped at. And I don't want to say anything because I don't want to spoil anything for you if you watching stuff I've already watched. But yeah, I really did enjoy Grey's Anatomy when I was watching it. I can't remember why I stopped. I don't know if it was because I ran out of seasons or what happened. Brittany, I hope you're enjoying your new pencils. Okay, you've watched it all multiple times. So if you don't watch a lot of TV and you read, what sort of books do you enjoy reading? Thriller, historical fiction, fantasy. Oh, nice. Historical fiction, mystery, and suspense. Yeah, I quite like the historical fiction and fantasy. Even a good mystery, but I haven't read mystery in a while. Oh, cool. So you really enjoy medical shows. That's cool. Although, to be fair, Grey's Anatomy was really good. Oh, yes, I remember watching some of the Law and Order. Wow, Jody, you've delivered a baby. That's incredible. What an experience to have. Okay, so Kenny, you enjoy watching real crime shows, detectives on cold crime. It was gross. Yes, I can understand that. Fair enough. Yeah, there are some things that are just not pretty, no matter how you look at it. I am so grateful though for people who are midwives and doulas, because to be able to help a woman through birth is just such a support and such an encouragement to that person. I'm just going to come back up to this stem here. And this here is a leaf of some sort, so we'll just color her in. Oh wow, the midwife got there 10 minutes after she was born, and the paramedics 10 minutes after. Wow, I'm so glad you were there. Yeah, when the baby decides it's going to come, there's nothing can really stop it. You can try slow it down a bit, but yeah. Glad he was a healthy boy. Alright, backing up this just a wee bit. And then I'm going to come down to the hyacinth leaves because they're quite quick to do. So I'm just using the spring green. And then the olive green. Thanks so much. Thanks, Noelle. Take care. Hi, Emily. How are you? Okay, so now I want to do some of the hyacinths. So I'm going to use magenta, pink, Deco, wait, hang on, blush pink, and then I think it's Deco pink. No, it's not. It is Deco peach. Yes, Deco peach, and then a white. Maybe not. I really don't want to sharpen this pencil. Like, seriously, get back in. Alright, so then I want the magenta down here in the bottom. Yeah, I'm not doing too bad, thanks, Emily. Alright, so Deco peach. and then blush pink. So what I've noticed with these sort of flowers is if I approach them with more of a gradient kind of going up, then you can get that like white sort of field right at the top. So I'm still working on it, but that's sort of the idea I've got going on in my head. So yeah, so something like that. So I'm going to do all the hyacinths in the pink color, and then I might bring some of the pink down into the ground here. So there's a few pink gemstones. I'm not yet sure what other gemstones we'll use, but that's the idea. So I will cut when we come back to this, we'll do the chicks and the eggshells, and hopefully by that time I would have fixed the background a bit and finish the daffodils, but I'll zoom out so you can have a look. So that's what it looks like now. This section here of the background is bothering me, so I just need to give it some thought and think through how else to do it. I might have to bring this sort of style all the way down in order for the chicks to actually stand out more, but I'll give it some thought and play around with it, and then I need to go over the background and just make it a bit more smooth and less splotchy. It's a bit splotchy, so I just got to keep working on it. But yeah. No, I don't want the eggshells to be blue. There's quite a lot of blue in the background. At least not for this page. I do agree with you though that blue eggshells are really cool, and I think they can be really beautiful. Thank you so much everyone for joining me. I really appreciate you. I hope you have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you next week, and I will try and get onto some of the other live streams this week too. So take care everyone. Have a good week. Bye for now.